Now we're back on, I'm back on YouTube. So let's see if that makes a difference now. I'm not going to mess up with anything. I'm not going to mess with anything. I might mess things up. Oh, we are so professional, you guys. Need to start wrapping. So that's the one benefit of, so my daughter's 18th birthday was last Saturday. And the one benefit I think of having both her birthday so close to Christmas is the fact that I can like wrap everything and then decide from there like what's birthday and what's Christmas. I mean, that means I have to get twice as much stuff all at once, but at least I have it all wrapped and it's just in plaid wrapping paper so I could pick and choose. Oh, let's see. Holly, need to come grab some stuff at the SVRC Wednesday, Friday. Awesome. Yes, yes, please come here. Check out the vendors. Lots of great gift ideas here, and not just food stuff. Lots of other gift ideas too. So, all right. I think we're good now. Melissa says we're good. So, um, Ruth, I have to. She and her grandma, my mother-in-law, got tattoos and they each have a design. Victoria drew a design for both of them, and it's kind of like a V has the moon and Penny has the sun, and because her name's Penny, V got like a little lucky penny thing. It's really sweet. So once I get permission from both of them, I will post pictures for sure for you guys. Holly, yeah, you get it. Okay, so welcome to Monday Motivation. Today is December 11th, you guys. My name's Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop located in downtown Saginaw, Michigan, inside the SVRC Marketplace, where there is a lot going on. Every off-market day, the girls from Cakes the Great are here just cooking up popcorn, cooking up a storm. Today, Sierra is in the process of relocating her delicious sweets booth from the end down by Frankenmuth Credit Union to where Iron Dragon was, right next to Make and Bacon. She's got a bigger space there, a lot more countertop to be able to work with and display. So, Chandra, Melissa, you need to mute yourself on Zoom. No, she should be muted. It looks like she's muted. How weird. Okay. Hi, Fran. So yeah, lots of stuff going on, even on days the market's closed. The market is open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So Mondays we're here. Mondays I'm here. Deb is up in the front lobby with her drop-in knitting group, 6:30 to 8:30. This month, as a reminder, Wednesdays are drop-in knitting as well, $10 for the 2 hours, 6:30 to 8:30. If she still keeps showing up. Who still keeps showing up? I'm so confused, you guys. I feel like now I need to have like a third device to make sure that everything's going okay. I don't know. I'm just going to keep going until Melissa starts like frantically waving her arms at me and telling me to stop. Melissa keeps showing up. That's so weird. I have it so only I'm supposed to be the one. What? Okay, Melissa says, if you see me on YouTube, go back to YouTube to the main screen and click the live. So it's a new session. Oh, okay. So maybe some of you are watching the first one I tried. Yeah, Melissa texted me. I can look at that on my watch at least. It might pop up on my phone. I'm not sure. It's always something. That's what you're here for, right? Entertainment. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Melissa says I'm good. Okay, fine. I get 2 thumbs up. So we're just going to keep going with it. If you're having problems with the YouTube feed, pop over on Facebook. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, you should still be able to watch the live video. I don't know if you'd be able to go back and watch the video afterwards, but you should still be able to log on to facebook.com/little yarn shop and watch us that way. We just might have some annoying pop-ups that come up every once in a while. Okay, so let's get started. I finished my sweater. You guys. I was just looking at the pattern, and the reason it's so fitted on me is because I probably picked the wrong size to do. So this is the Nightshade Society sweater. Originally written for sport weight yarn and 12-inch length, which is what I did. I did the 12-inch length, not the cropped version that they show. Fran, thank you. I love green. I should make more of it. So 12-inch length is what I did. I held fingering weight, Cascade Heritage fingering weight with Malabrigo mohair in the color Oasis. And the skeins, typical to Malabrigo, the skeins are very different. So even between like those two, of the batch I had, these are the 2 I didn't use, and one's the lightest and one's the darkest. But essentially, it's those 2 yarns held together for the whole sweater. So it's supposed to have 4 to 6 inches of ease, and you're supposed to pick your size based on that. I didn't do that. So I did the 46, which is why it's more fitted. Like I have said before, the sleeves are pretty fitted too. Although there is some lace, there are also cables. So when I block it, I don't think it's going to change much. It's got a split hem. There's an inch more in the back than there is in the front. And it is knit top down, and there's no waist shaping. So if you wanted to make it longer, you would have, you have the ability to do that. I had more yarn left than what they called for. So there should be some leeway in there if you wanted to make it longer. The sleeves, yes, the sleeves are fitted. They would be fun with little beads in there, but look at how pretty that is. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's cozy. It's really cozy. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how the length would look because honestly, you guys, I didn't try it on until Thursday or Friday last week. I had almost the whole thing done. I was I think just binding off the front of it and realized maybe I should try it on and make sure it fits okay, more than just sticking my arm in. So Nightshade Society, really fun pattern, lots of options, length, materials, and it was a quick knit. And the front and the back are just the plain stockinette. The only patterning you have is on the sleeves, which is kind of fun too. Breaks it up a little bit. All right, so that's what I finished. What I am almost finished with is my Hito Fude, you guys. So the Hito Fude cardigan is, because I haven't blocked my mohair yet, it's flying all over the place. That'll calm down. This is knit all in one. Hito Fude means a single brush stroke in Japanese. So this sweater is knit without having to cut your yarn and do joining or anything like that. I did make it a little bit more complicated for myself by using a gradient. So the yarn I used was the Wonderland Blossoms in the color Love in a Mist, which goes from a really, really almost like a white really, really pale blue to this blue gray on the outside. I used 2 of those and alternated every 2 rows. And I'm binding off. I thought I was further binding off, but there's the back of it. So if you've been following along as I was working on this, I cast it on my trip to France in August. So I started with the lighter color. You can kind of see how the progression of this works. The white is where I cast on, which is the sleeves. You can see I got darker and darker. And then at one point, you do a 3 needle bind off under the sleeves. So you can see that difference. Pick up and do a little collar and then just keep going. So I alternated the 2 skeins all the way down. Obviously this is lace. So once I block it, it is going to open up and it's just going to be beautiful. And it has this flared front on it. Next week, I'll be able to show you guys so much better. However, I know I've talked to a couple people about this pattern, and using 2 of these cakes would have given me 950 yards. And from what I can tell, the size I chose says I should use approximately 890 yards, and I ran short. So I stopped. Each pattern repeat is like 2 of these little V's. And so I only did the first of these little V's down here. I skipped the second one on that last because I was looking at what I had left and wanted to make sure I got some of the ribbing down at the bottom. So it's just like a little bit of 1x1 ribbing. So give yourself some leeway if you're looking. Cindy, I know we were just talking about this and you said you had around 1,000 yards of something yarn at home. So keep that in mind, that you might just have to cut it a little bit short. You don't have to make it this complicated. You can use a solid Cascade Heritage or a solid fingering weight yarn, and it will be beautiful, just like the pattern shows in all one picture. It'll be gorgeous. I like the fact that the pattern's really detailed. It tells you when to use a stretchy bind off, when to use a standard bind off. And look, that's what I have left of the 1 skein. And that's what I have left of the other skein. So yeah, cutting it pretty close. Thankfully, I have a pretty good eye to be able to figure out what I need for the bind off. Because yeah, it's close. Supposed to do 10 rows of ribbing. I did not. I did 8. You know, every once in a while I have to do a project that deviates a little bit following instructions. Hi, Donna. So I'm so excited. I'm almost done with that. The Cozy McBlanket, my rainbow, what I'm calling my Cozy McRainbow sweater, is next on the docket for me to finish up. I have to do the sleeves on that. I wound the yarn for that tonight, so maybe I can go home and finish binding off, block some things, and get to the sleeves on that. And then I can start something new. We just got new colors of Barocco Remix Light delivered last week, and it's sitting in packages still. I haven't gotten as far as doing anything with it beyond that. But there's a sweater that's been in my queue for a little while, and it's called Ship Shape I think it's by Heidi Kiermeyer. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. It's stripes. I like stripes. And Karen and I were just talking about how I needed to do a sweater out of the Remix Light, and that's actually the yarn that she uses in the pattern for her sample is Remix Light. So I'm debating on, these are probably not the colors that I'm going to choose. I kind of thought maybe I should just make all of my samples green. Well, maybe I'll mix it up a little bit, but I'm debating on whether I want to do something like this and keep it like low contrast, or if I want to go really high contrast. We just got a pretty coral in. It bounces between a sport and a DK weight yarn, Ruth. It can kind of serve both purposes. They call it a 3. And on like the scale of things, a 3 would be a DK weight, But the nice thing about these, other than the fact that it's all recycled materials, it's wool free. It says machine wash, lay flat to dry, but I have heard people put this in the dryer and not have a problem with it. But they're 432 yards, which is like sock weight yardage, but on a sport or a DK weight yarn. So I think I looked in my size, I would need 2 of my main color and 1 of my contrast color. And it goes from a 33.5 up to a 70-inch bust, which is awesome. The construction looks really cool. If you look at the pattern up close, the way it starts, it's got like stripes that go the opposite way on the shoulders. So I think it looks like it's going to be a fun one. I just have to figure out what color I should do. So if you guys have any input on that, tell me. Should I do red, orange, pink, purple, green, coral, teal? Should I do neutrals? I have the one that's in the neutrals. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. That one says 4 to 7 inches of ease in it for the bust on that one. What I would recommend, and I think we've talked about this before, but it's worth repeating. If you aren't sure what size to pick on a pattern, I didn't print it out yet. I just decided right before I came live that was going to be my next project. Who knows? By the time I finish the sleeves on the cardigan, I might be onto something else, but I do really want to use Remix Light for a project. So when you look at a pattern, almost always it's going to say finished bust circumference measurements. That means the finished size of the sweater, not of your bust. So pay attention to what it recommends for ease. Like I said, with this one, it says you should have 4 to 6 inches of ease. I picked a size. I'm a 36. I picked a 37.25. So I did not follow instructions. I did not pick the right amount of ease. I mean, unless that's what I was going for. Maybe that's what I was going for at the time, and I just don't remember that. But my suggestion would be go through your closet, find a top that you like the fit of. It doesn't necessarily have to be a top that you've knit. It can be a store-bought top. If it is, that's fine. Really what you want to do is look at the measurements of it. So lay it flat, measure the bust of that top. And that's kind of the benchmark of what you would be aiming for a sweater. If you wanted a sweater that has a little bit more ease flow to it. So if you're unsure, that's a good place to start. Okay, so that's all the knitting that I'm working on. New things in the shop. I just got a box from Dream in Color today, and they sent me my second batch of their November, what are they calling it? Fighting. Look at how beautiful this is, you guys. So I had quite a few people that signed up to get some of this new batch. I have all of those set aside. And in addition, we've got 10 additional skeins of the fingering weight, which is smushy with cashmere, 4 ounces, 400 yards, merino cashmere nylon, loveliness. And you can see there is definitely variation between like whether it's the darker skein or the lighter skein. That's the beauty of hand-dyed yarn, but all the colors in it are gorgeous. So I have 10 extra skeins of that. So if you didn't have your name on the list to pre-order, but now that you see it, you want more, or you want a sweater's quantity, this would be a beautiful keto fude. That would be gorgeous. Normally, I would say you don't want a busy yarn with lace, but because this is really kind of just all in the same color family, I think you could get away with it. However, I also have an extra bag of fighting in worsted. So this is not their cashmere. This is Dream in Color Classy. So it is 4 ounces, 250 yards, 100% superwash merino. This would be a beautiful sweater too, or a hat if you want quicker projects and you don't like the idea of knitting with fingering weight yarn. Worsted is the way to go. The worsted retails for 28. The smushy with cashmere retails for 35. So again, if you pre-ordered yours, I've got those tucked away already, and we do have some extras. I also ordered extras of some of the more popular assigned pooling worsted colors that we had from Small Business Saturday. I've got quite a few people that are doing just basic, not basic, but simple knit sweaters without a lot of patterning in it, but using a fun assigned pooling yarn. Maybe doing something different with the stitches, maybe not. Maybe just knitting it, but you get those fun little blips of color. So we got an extra bag of Fairy Tale, which was the first one to go when we had it in. Let's see if I can get one out without making too much noise. It's mossy greens and kind of like almost like an ochre color. And then this tealy blue color in there. So one bag would be a sweater's quantity of 1,500 yards. We got a bag of that extra, and we have an extra bag of the watermark. Is, look at that. Holly, I know you look at that one, you look at the Tigers one. So those are both classy. So 100% superwash merino, 4 ounces, 250 yards. Sorry, you guys, I got a little distracted. Okay. Sorry, I just need a minute. My hip is not happy with me today. Oh. Oriana, forget your Christmas budget. Well, you have to spoil yourself for Christmas too, I think. All right, so I've got that. I apologize, got a little distracted there. Physical therapy jumped up a notch this week today, and so yeah, I think I'm feeling it a little bit. So that's what's new in terms of yarn for the shop. Also, I have been a little bit behind the ball. Is that a thing? I dropped the ball behind the whatever. Club yarns. I think I have yarns for 3 different clubs tucked behind the counter that I have not contacted people about. If you've been in, you maybe have grabbed yours. But if you're part of the Rainbow Club, I've got November, December just came today. So I've got those set aside. Why are you so beautiful? I wonder who that is at SVRC Marketplace, if it's Rachel or if it's somebody else. But thank you. So Rainbow Club, I have November's Storybook Club. I have November's, what's the other one? Herstory Club. So obviously we're in December now. Most of these clubs are wrapping up. The Rainbow Club ends. The Herstory Club is ending. Wonderland Yarns is doing something different. So right now they have their De-Stitch Nation, which has been each one based on a fairy tale or a storybook. Next year, they're switching it up a little bit, and I think it's like Old English inspired colors, but they're doing a block of the month. So each month you'll get a skein of yarn and some other goodies. And at the end of the year, you'll have yarn to have done 12 Afghan blocks, basically. So each one will come with a different pattern. It's all going to be the same weight yarn. I don't remember if it's sport or DK, but I will be putting more information about that soon. Storm and Little Chief. They're always getting into trouble, those boys. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be a fun club. They are also, if you're not so keen on doing a block of the month, but you like the idea of the club yarn, they will be providing some other patterns that would be suitable alternatives. So look for more of that. New little gadgets in the shop. I have new little gadgets in the shop. These little things are called palm keepers. I'll show you a clear one, but it seems kind of odd. So look at this little guy. It's a little piece of wood or little pieces of acrylic, but they are brilliant because a lot of the pom-poms we get, well, pretty much all the pom-poms we get here have this tiny little elastic loop that you look at and go, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with that? You can't really cut it and tie it to something on the inside of the hat. You can sew a button on the inside of the hat and then kind of pull this through and loop it on there, but it tends to be kind of floppy if you do that. So these little palm keepers go on the inside. You use a crochet hook to grab that little elastic piece and pull it through the inside of your hat. Let's see if I can undo this one and redo it. So the elastic through the inside of the hat, and it goes through the center of these little guys and then on the edges. And it holds it in place. It's easy to take it off, to wash the hat. And I also feel like it's a little bit more flush. So it gives the pom-poms more stability with and not looking so blah. So we have big palm keepers and little palm keepers in the shop. Oh, Val, thank you. New stitch is awesome. So the larger ones are suitable for any adult size hat, clear or wood. These are $2 a piece. We've got a dish of them up at the register. I also have a variety of colors. All these little fun little colors of these little guys. These guys are 3D printed and great for kids' hats. So a similar idea, but obviously you don't need something so big and sturdy for smaller palms, smaller hats. But you do the same thing, pull the elastic through and pop it around those little notches and it keeps it in place. Those are $1 a piece. We've got a bunch of those. So fun little gadgets. It's tricky sometimes when we get stuff like this in the shop and we don't have the ability to tell everybody about it, because if you came up to the counter and looked at it, it's hard to know what it is. So I'm excited about that. We do have palms, larger ones this size, smaller ones this size in the shop. I think they're 6-inch and 4-inch palms. And I have more on their way. Finally, you guys, I'm getting some palms back in stock. I know it's a little bit behind, a little bit late, but we can always use them. So, hi, Julie. I've been thinking about you. Palm keepers. Yes, they're awesome. Okay, so what else? I think that might be all I have to talk to you guys about today. I'm keeping it. Oh, Melissa's waving at me for that. Oh, so one of the things I wanted to highlight, talking about fingering weight yarn and mohair, is this beautiful shawl back here. I can't pronounce it because it's not in English. We have talked about it before, but it's worth talking about again because so I didn't knit that one. My mom knit that one, and she's knitting another one for me, which I'm very excited about. But it takes 1 skein of fingering weight yarn and 2 skeins of 50 grams of mohair. It is called this, and I can't say it, you guys. Midsummer Night Shawl is what it translates to in English. I'm going to grab it because you can't see it from a distance. You need to see it up close. Last spring was when my mom finished this, and it was my companion on the plane to keep me warm on my way back from seeing them in Florida. But when you use the mohair, it's just simple garter. The lace is done in the fingering weight yarn, and it switches lace patterns like halfway through. They look similar, but it kind of switches the directions of them. But for one skein of 100 grams fingering weight yarn, 50 grams of mohair, it's so light and lovely. Everybody who's made this has been very happy with how theirs turned out. I've seen it in just a natural cream color. It looks beautiful. The one that's going to be headed my way soon, I hope, is in kind of the burgundies. Just, it's just so light, but so warm. It would be great if you have one of those big bulky coats and you need something under it, but you don't want a big bulky something under it. A shawl like that would be a really good idea. Oriana, yes, it's great. Okay. It would be, oh, can you imagine what it would look like with one of these? And some mohair. See all the colors of mohair I have up there? We're getting more of the Barocco Ariel in. Every time I get an order from them, we add a couple more colors. And then, of course, we've got the Malabrigo mohair too. And there's that pink. Do you see that pink back there? That would be beautiful. Just an idea, you guys. Okay. That's all I have. I plan on being back here next Monday, which would be the 18th. We're getting so close to Christmas. We're in the midst of Hanukkah, if that's your holiday. I'm ready for it. I don't know if you all are ready for it, but I'm ready for it to be here. I'm sort of ready for snow. Once I can walk a little bit more confidently, once I'm a little bit further through physical therapy, I'll be okay with maybe some snow. If I can't have spring and summer, at least that's what I've got. Bye, boys. All right. So I hope everybody has a good night and a good week. And I hope that you're inspired to start something new or finish something that's been lingering, or just continue to work away at things. Make things for yourself, make things for people you love. And if I don't see you in the shop sometime this week, I will see you all back here next Monday at 7 p.m. Hi, John. Bye, John.